March 17th, 2017. Well, I believe it's St. Patty's Day today. Could be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure this is St. Patty's Day, so happy St. Patty's Day to everyone who celebrates. Just thought I'd do a quick update in the greenhouse, go over a few things, kind of show where things are at before the season accelerates here, and before I start back into foliar feeds and turn things back on. Kind of had everything slowed down over the winter with the low light. Growth reduces, and I just kind of keep things in homeostasis for the winter. But the light is returning. Oh, that's the automatic vent coming back down. 42 degrees out today and sunny, and so the greenhouse gets pretty hot pretty fast. So the upper vent has been opening and closing to let some of that heat off. Thank God for that, because it would be 115 or more in here if it didn't. And then those DC fans come on and stir the air. Anyway, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. So I let things kind of be dormant over the winter, just kind of keep them in homeostasis. I do some cuttings, like the rosemary here. And I know things look horrible in here right now, so please don't mind the mess. But these were taken from cuts that were about that long, I don't know, a couple months ago. And I know I talked in my previous video about the avocado, about pruning, about vegetative propagation. So these are exact genetic duplicates of the mother plant, which is that big rosemary plant over there. And these have rooted, and they're actually putting on a lot of vegetative growth. And I actually got to transplant these out to pots because they're, well, they're really outgrowing the space they're in. These are oranges that I did in orange cuttings that I didn't experiment with when I pruned the orange with. They did not do well, but with the low light and low water amounts, I'm not really all that surprised. It was just kind of an experiment. What else is going on here? Well, let's see. The almond verbena is coming back, and yes, I do have a wicked whitefly infestation in here. I'm going to get the nutrition balance back in here and get that squared away fairly soon. This marigold did take a freeze, along with the coffee tree from JB Peel. One of the really cold nights we had, I let off stoking a little too early, and it was a windy night, and it was 0 or below 0, and I guess it got enough cold to kill it. But JB Peel is under new ownership. JB Peel is a coffee company in Red Hook, New York, for those of you who don't know, and they gave me the other tree that they had, and I brought that in here I think about 2 weeks ago. And it's been kind of in sad shape, but you can see we got new sprouts coming on and new leaves coming on, so it's starting to take off. And I haven't given that a foliar feed at all yet, so once I do, it should explode into health and vigor, I would hope and think. And we'll see. I doubt I'll get any coffee beans off it, but I sure wouldn't mind being able to make a cup of coffee off my own coffee plant. But we'll see what happens. I'm not expecting a lot. Other things I want to cover in the greenhouse, this mandarin tree is flowering and throwing on new shoots and setting mandarin on it, so that's exciting. Quite a few over here on this branch, as you can see, quite a few. In fact, I doubt all of those will be able to fill and finish on there, so a bunch of them will probably drop off. And let's see, this is a chaya tree that a friend of mine out in Oklahoma gave me. This is basically like a Mexican type tree, I believe, and you can eat the leaves, but they have to be steamed first. It's kind of like spinach, I'm told. I've never actually tried that yet. We might have enough vegetation to actually try that this year. And that's actually 2 of these trees, which I should give a much larger container to soon. The ginger has been dormant for most of the winter, and I just started watering it again. I'm actually going to do a video on propagating ginger coming up shortly. But I just thought I would point out, you can see new shoot growth popping in here on those ginger rhizomes. And this planter has quite a few ginger rhizomes in it. And it also has the other avocado tree that my friend Chester gave me. That one was stunted when it came here, and it's still stunted, and even with foliar feeds it hasn't really recovered. So I'm probably going to go ahead and cull that when I clean up this ginger pot. This other wild stuff that took off in here, this is actually called sorrel. This has kind of a like a lemony, tangy flavor to it. It's wild around here. It grows pretty prolifically. And it's one of the first spring greens that come up. And it actually has a lot of medicinal benefits as well. I tend not to eat a lot of it. It's not really a favorite of mine, but it does have a really nice flavor. So, I guess we'll look at the lemon tree. You can see I haven't fed this in a while, and it's due for a feed. Made the mistake when I transplanted this a few years back of using a potting soil that was more in the calcium phosphorus range, and I think I put a soil that's a little too leaning on flowering and fruiting, and it's had a negative effect on the balance of the soil for this plant. So I may transplant this plant into some new soil that's a little less intense. But anyway, I'm going to give that some foliar feeds and we'll get it back rolling again. And that's that. This is the orange tree. This is doing pretty well. It's also set some flowers and developing some fruit. This is a Arctic frost orange. And yeah, I guess that's pretty much it in the greenhouse for now. Just kind of want to do a quick update and show where things are at. Oh, I did want to show this holy basil. This holy basil, I think I shot this in one of the other videos. I dug this. These were volunteers that came up last year out by the corn, and they popped up. And I just noticed them in the fall before frost, and I dug this and a couple others up and brought them in. And this one actually has made it through the winter, and I pruned it back not too long ago, and now it's sprouting back. So I'm enjoying nibbling off of that as well. And a lot of the seeds that shook free from that fell into the pot, and you can see not all of these, some of these are weeds, but you can see like that there is basil, and so is that and so is that. So new plants growing up in the under canopy of the bigger plant, so that's pretty exciting. Alright, I think that's pretty much it for the greenhouse tour for now. I know things look a little sad in here, but I promise you we're about to blow it up for spring. This orange Hawaiian marigold also took damage in the frost, but fortunately it was flowering heavily, and so we have lots of seeds to start new Hawaiian orange marigold plants from, and I'll be starting some of those seeds shortly as well. Let's see what else. This is the lemon verbena. This also took a little bit of a hit over the winter with the cold, low light, and the whitefly issue, but I pruned it back about a month ago, and you can see new leaf sprouts coming on, and it should take off and roll for the spring. I'll be giving everything a good foliar feed in here, a good drench, probably give some C-stem and some C-shield, and probably some micro pack to get the trace minerals in there. Might also give another inoculant just to be sure that biology is present. Always remember, biology is the trump card. Alright, I think that's everything. Thanks for watching the Farmacy Seeds Network. I hope you look forward to an excellent growing season with us. Thanks for watching.